Hi, good morning. This is Natalie with Imago Day Yoga. And the weekends, I have been doing beginner classes. And so the month of January, I slowly built up a foundation of Vinyasa flow, focusing on Sun A and Sun B. Now we're shifting focus to our balancing poses, which ironically also takes a lot of focus, which is something I want to talk to you about before we actually begin. For our balancing postures, yeah, there's a lot of physical practice that goes into learning how to balance, but balance really starts in the mind. So when we talk about balance, we focus on what's called the Drishti, or which also means focus. And you want to learn the Drishti by first you focus your vision. So you find an unmoving spot and you just stare it down, and that will help you keep your balance. But there's other elements that can help as well, and we'll kind of talk about that as we learn to balance, as well as building up the strength and the stabilizing muscles as we go. Really excited. We're going to first go through our vinyasa flow like we've been doing, and then we'll come back and work on our balancing. All right, so let's get started. We'll start at the top of the mat standing. Building on that foundation. So the foundation we began working on in the month of January was with our mountain pose. So push down firmly with all four corners of the feet and start lifting up. So poses always start from foundation up, and you're going to want to remember that for our balancing. So really press down, lift up through the thighs, push the pelvis out, lift up through the stomach, maybe even use your hand to get that feeling of lift up in the rib cage, and then just roll the shoulders down and back, really sucking in, lifting up, big inhale. Exhale, you can let it go. Let's do that again. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, pressing down. One more time, one more big breath. And then exhale, release. Then inhale, take those arms up. Bring the palms together, nice big stretch. Exhale, take it all the way down to the ground. Bend those knees nice and deep. Try to connect the stomach to the thighs. It's more about that stomach to thigh connection, and then lifting up through the hips for a gentle stretch. It's not a toe touch because that puts more strain on your lower back. You don't want that. So keep the knees bent, neck is loose, looking back towards the knees. Inhale it up for that half lift. Then exhale it back down. Inhale, raise it all the way up. Get another big stretch. Bring those palms together and down to heart center with a big exhale. Let it go. And then again, finding that mountain posture, digging those feet in, lifting up through the entire body, making sure the shoulders are rolled down and back and neck is loose. We're going to start practicing that drishti. So your eyes need to be focused kind of in front of you. You can shut the eyes down, but let's practice the focus first, trying to train our mind. So open the eyes, look just directly in front of you, find a spot to focus on. You can let the image blur out a little bit if that helps to hone in that focus, and breathe. Breathe in. Exhale it out. Do that again. Another big, big breath. And release. Remembering to find that focus with the eyes. One more time. Big breath. Let it go. All right, let's go through a full flow now. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling the arms all the way down and planting them on the mat. Step in to your plank pose. If you need to come down to your knees, that's totally fine. It's a straight arm plank either way, either on your knees or off. And then go ahead and lower down kind of to the mat a little bit, and then push up for that upward facing dog. Getting a nice back bend. Be gentle though. And then you're going to push it up and back for a downward facing dog. Hips taking you up and back. Chest reaching towards the thighs, at least in theory. Neck loose. Looking back towards your legs. Guess what? There's drishti here too. Your focus is back towards your legs. You don't need to necessarily stare down your legs. You might look between them. Looking, the gaze helps your focus. It helps remind your body that the chest is leaning in towards the legs. You can use your core and your hips to help push up and back. Keep breathing. Take another big breath and release it out. One more time, big inhale and release. Then you'll take another big breath in, start to bend those knees, look forward and step forward into your forward fold. You'll inhale it up halfway, get that lift. Exhale it back down. And then inhale it up, raise it up. Nice big stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Find your mountain again, forcing the feet down, lifting up through the body, relaxing the shoulders down and back. Big breath. Looking, finding your drishti. Find that focal point. Big breath. And release. One more time. Big inhale. Let it go. Then inhale, take your arms up again. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back into your plank. Very carefully, once you get there, lowering down towards the mat, and then pushing it up into that upward facing dog. Get a nice back bend. And then when you're ready, push it into the downward facing dog. Hips going up and back, neck looking down, or not neck, head looking down. Eyes going back towards the back wall or the legs, the knees. Just getting that proper focus. Take a breath. One more time. Big inhale and exhale. Then we're going to go into our warrior one, following through with a sun B. And we're going to start with the right leg going forward, but before you move that, you're actually going to move the left leg first. If you remember from January, you'll just take a little half step up with the left leg going at an angle so you can put the heel down on the ground, nice bend in the knee. And then once you've got that planted, you can step the right leg up, going to the opposite edge of the mat. Short stance, don't take it up too high. It can be very, very short stance actually. And then once you have it set and you feel stable, inhale, bring yourself up. And then you can adjust your warrior one as you want to. Just make sure the hips stay perfectly squared to the front of the mat. You'll have a bit of a back bend in your back. And you can adjust this leg. Make sure the knee isn't tracking too far over the toes. You want to kind of pull back maybe a little bit. Make sure it's going straight up and down. Back knee is straight and at an angle. Or the foot's at an angle, not the knee. Keep the knee where it's supposed to be. Big stretch up. Keep breathing. Take a big inhale. Exhale, release it out. The drishti on this is just directly and gently in front of you. Big inhale. Exhale it down. One more time. Big breath. And release. Next inhale, really raise it up. Exhale, come forward. Plant the hands and step the back foot up to meet the front in a forward fold. Remember to relax the neck, looking back toward the knees. Inhale it up for a half lift. Exhale it down. Inhale, raise it up. Nice big stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Again, pressing down into our mountain, finding your focal point in front of you. Going to get to use that for balancing here in just a bit. One more big breath in your mountain. Find your mountain. And release. Next inhale, take the arms up, and we're going to have a seat into our chair, bending the knees, keeping the tailbone tucked. You don't have to go low. Just finding that thigh activation, protecting the back by not sticking the booty out too far. Keep that tucked in. Chest raised. Gaze is still kind of directly and softly right in front of you. Take another breath. Then inhale it up. Push lips forward. Lift that chest. Get a little bit of a back bend. Then exhale, forward fold. We'll pause briefly in the forward fold. Take a breath. Make sure the neck is loose. And then inhale it up for a half lift. Exhale it back down. Inhale, raise it up. Nice big stretch. Palms together down to heart center. One breath in, mountain. Take a big one. Exhale it out. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands. Step it into plank. And then once you got it there, lower it down, chaturanga. You'll push it up for that upward facing dog. Nice back bend. And then exhale it back. Downward facing. We'll take a couple breaths. So find your down dog. Nice lift up through the hips. Core and hips help pushing you back. Might bend the knees a little bit to help with that lift. Gaze back towards your knees or the back wall behind you. Take a breath. All right, now we're doing the other side. So before you move your left leg up, start with the right leg. Come into that corner of the mat, dropping the heel down at an angle. And then once you have that set, step the left leg up to the opposite edge of the mat. Stance can be very short. That's okay. When you're ready, inhale the body up. Coming in to your warrior one. Hips squared to the front of the mat. You can step the leg forward just a little bit if you want to adjust, but find where it's comfortable. Knee bent, not too far, pulling it back if you need to. Arms raised, nice. Inhale for a lift. And exhale grounds you down. Gaze softly in front of you. Another big inhale. Exhale, press down into the earth. One more time. Big breath, reach it up. Exhale. Then again, breathe it in. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands and step the back foot up to meet the front. Forward fold. You'll inhale up for that half lift. Exhale it down. Inhale, raise it up. Nice big stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Pressing down firmly into the mat. We'll take a couple breaths in our mountain. And this time you can close your eyes or keep them open. The idea of Drishti is not necessarily physical vision, just your focus. So inhale, raise up, nice big lift. Exhale, press down into the mat. Inhale again, one more time, big breath. Exhale, let it go. All right, let's just get one big stretch. Nice, inhale it up. Exhale, fold. Remember to bend the knees. Crown of the head toward the ground. Inhale it up halfway. Exhale it down. Then inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. All right, now we're going to play around with some balancing. So the easiest balance, I think, to start with is knee raise, because all you got to do is pick up that knee. Now, that can be challenging if you're thinking too much about it or you're thinking about falling. The balancing postures are more mental than physical. Like, yes, we need to build up the strength in our legs in order to keep the weight on the single legs, but it's more mental. So if you're thinking about falling, guess what's going to happen? You're going to fall. Rather than that, think about lifting up. Think about the upward motion of raising the leg. So you start actually on the grounded leg, pressing down. You are nice and firm. You are nice and strong. You believe that this leg is firmly planted into the ground, and then this leg can come up, and it's raised. It's all mental, and it's practice. Practicing that mentality. I still fall. It's fine. There will be days when your mind is just like, not going to have it, and that's okay. So get into this knee raise. Practice that focus. It's easier to keep your balance if you're staring something down, especially at the beginning. Now, as you practice your balance, anything can pass in front of you, and it won't affect your balance. But for now, take it easy. Find something that's not moving. Keep staring. All right, go ahead and put that knee down. Get a nice stretch up, and when you're ready, exhale it down. Get that forward fold, a little bend. And then inhale it up halfway. Exhale it down. Inhale, raise it up. Nice big stretch, palms together and down to heart center. We're going to start working on the other side. So take a moment, check in on your mentality. First off, if you do fall, there's no harm in that. It's all about practicing. So don't worry about whether or not you're going to fall or keep your balance. Also, I forgot to mention, if you have a super soft, squishy mat, that's also going to work against you. Carpet, if it's really soft, is also going to work against you. Finding a nice hard surface actually makes it a lot easier to keep your balance. Don't be ashamed either of starting off grabbing on to something. I don't know if I'd grab onto a bookshelf, but maybe if you're just gently placing a hand there and won't accidentally grab it, a wall, something like that. That's good. Start where you can. Just building up that mentality of, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can keep your balance. And yes, you can build the strength in your legs, because maybe this hurts. Maybe there's a lot on your ankle. Take your time with it. Let's go ahead and do the other side, pressing down firmly into your right leg, and start bringing this knee up. Start with the mentality. You don't even have to raise it up high. You can just kind of like bend it up. Bend it up wherever you want it. You can touch it down if you start to wobble. Find that unmoving spot in front of you. Lift your arms up if you can where you're ready. Touching a wall or something unmoving, totally good. Do what you got to do to start. Start practicing. Start learning to have fun with it too. There's a lot of fun you can have with balancing poses. Take a breath, big inhale. Release. One more breath. Take a big breath. And then as you exhale, go and let it down. Inhale, get a big stretch up. Exhale, fold it back forward. Knees bent, neck loose. Inhale it up halfway. Exhale, drop it back down. Inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Take a breath. All right. Now that we've done knee raise, which seems like the simplest thing, we're actually going to do something a little bit easier, maybe, depending on your body. We're going to do tree, but we're not going to come way up here in some fanciness. We're going to do a kickstand tree. If you have already been practicing and you are confident in your balance, then go ahead and come up into whatever tree you've got. Wherever that foot goes is fine. But if you are just starting out, don't try anything yet. Go ahead and just pivot that leg out so the knee just pivots out to the side. You are grounding down into that left leg, confident in the firmness of your leg, and you're just pivoting this out. You don't even have to take it up off the ground. You can just kickstand it, leaning the heel against your leg. For some of you, this might already be challenging enough. That's okay. If this feels real comfy, maybe too easy, go ahead and put it up on the calf, where you can tuck it down anytime you need to if you start to wobble. So go ahead and do that. It takes patience, it takes practice, but more than anything, you are training your mind to find your focus than you are your physical body. The physical body follows your mind. And that's what's beautiful about yoga is the mind-body connection. So go ahead, I'm going to leave mine just a simple kickstand. You can bring the arms up on this one or bring them to heart center. And we're going to keep this pose for a little bit. And if this is not challenging for you, find where the challenge is. Take the foot up maybe a little bit higher if you want to. Find your challenge. We're going to hold this for several breaths so you can work on your drishti a little more. And again, holding a wall in this pose is just fine too. Whatever you need to do, keep breathing. Big inhales, finding your focal point. Staring down that unmoving spot. Thinking of lifting up and grounding down. Couple more big breaths. Release. One more time, take a breath. And let it go. Next inhale, go ahead and just move the leg forward and set it down. You did it. Take a big stretch up. Exhale, fold. Letting it go. Then inhale it up halfway. Exhale it back down. Inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Take a breath, grounding down into your mountain and lifting up. Release. All right, we're going to do the other side. Same idea, so find the setup that works for you. First, focusing on the press down into the right side, finding a nice firm foundation before coming up, just lifting the knee a little bit, toes still on the ground, and pivoting that knee out to the side. Once you've got that, you can decide where you want it. If you want to leave it right here, this is challenging enough, or lift it up. Again, just find where the challenge is, and then take either the arms up as in a nice raised tree, or down at heart center. And again, as I said, once you practice this, there are some fun things you can do with it. I want to show you, but I'll probably tip over. But that's part of the fun. It's challenging. So find your focus. We'll take a few breaths. Take a breath. Stare down that unmoving spot, finding your focal point. Letting the mind relax, focusing on lifting up and grounding down as you breathe, just like we do in mountain. You are still firm as a mountain, even when balancing. Couple more breaths. One more. All right. Go ahead and bring that knee forward and set it down. Get a nice big stretch. Forward fold it. Knees bent, neck loose. Inhale it up for that half lift. Exhale, fall back down. Don't fall. Lower it down. Inhale, take it up. Get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Now what I just want to show you real quick is eventually you can take it all up. There's something they call like a leaning tree, fallen tree. I'm not very good at it, so that's as far as I'm going to go. Where they lean side to side. That's something you can work up towards. So keep practicing your balancing because it might come sooner than you think, especially the more you practice it. Also, I love when we can kick it out and then just take it back without thinking too much about it. See, you can fall just like that. You get a little too much movement than what you think you're ready for. And that's totally fine. Inhale it up halfway if you came down with me and let it go. Raise it up. Then if you are already in mountain, just breathe. Take one more big inhale. Exhale it out. And I think we can go ahead and start taking this to the floor, actually. We got about 10 minutes. If you want to practice actually balancing, let's do it one more time. How about that? So start grounding down into one side. Pressing down firmly into your leg. Go ahead and come up into your knee raise first. Lifting it up. And then you can take it out to the side and plant it on yourself coming into your tree. I've got mine raised up high where I like it. You can take it down lower, kickstand it. Find your tree. We'll be here for just a couple breaths again. Again, working on our strength as well, because we've already been on this ankle a couple times. If it gets to be too much, you can come back to mountain. Take a couple more breaths. Remembering to lift up and press down with the breath while your eyes focus in front of you. Take one more big inhale. And exhale. Then go ahead and bring that knee forward. Kick it out in front of you and set it down. Lift up, big stretch. Exhale, forward fold it. Inhale it up halfway. Exhale it down. Then inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. We're going to do the other side. Press down firmly into the right leg, believing in the stability that you have. Popping that left knee up. And when you're ready, coming into the knee raise. Arms lifted, knee up, and it can be low. Maybe you're tapping the toe on the ground. That's fine. Take it out to the side. And plant it on yourself coming into your tree. And each side might be different. Respect your body. Respect where your mind is at this time. Only challenging it a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. Then again, arms lifted or at heart center. We'll take a few breaths. Breathing deep. Finding your focus. Couple more breaths. One more big breath. All right, bring that knee back to center and kick it out in front of you. Set it down, nice big stretch. Exhale, forward fold it. Inhale it up halfway. Exhale it down. Then inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Pressing down firmly into your mountain. Take a breath. And take those arms up. We're going to start to take this to the floor. So get one more big stretch and then take it down to toe stand if you can, or just start to lower the body down. If you want to try, you're just bringing the hips down towards the heels, hips stack on the heels, shoulders over hips. If you can't, you're up here, that's okay. Just take a moment and then start to come down. This is a nice balancing practice too once you get down into it. Go ahead and kick those feet out in front of you. Going to get a nice stretch, but be gentle. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward again, bending the knees a little bit. It's actually, you get a nice stretch on the back as well as not overdoing the hamstrings. And take just a couple breaths. Couple more breaths, big breaths into the stretch. And the next inhale, go ahead and start to raise it up. You can bend both the knees in towards you as you come up. And let it fall out into butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees falling apart. Big inhale, straighten the back. Exhale, fold it forward. You can use your elbows to push the knees down a little bit if that feels good, but just make sure it feels good. We're only stretching to where it's nice. If you start to hurt, that actually does the opposite for your stretch. You don't want to do that. You could injure yourself, so be careful. And keep breathing. Relaxing into the stretch. And then go ahead and inhale it up. Bring those knees together. And then we're just going to lower straight down to the mat. So nice, strong legs. You can flex the feet so there's energy already flowing through the legs. Arms out in front of you. A little bit of core activation as we lower down. Yoga can be a little sneaky about working out the core, which is nice, but some of these are really intense. So we'll start warming up the core a little bit more in future yoga classes. Get a nice big stretch once you've hit the mat, stretching everything out, and then relax into the mat. Just for a second. And start bending the knees in towards the chest. You can hug them in, grab those knees. Really pull them in as tight as you can towards the chest. You can even inhale and exhale, forehead towards the knees, rounding the body tightly. And go ahead and drop the head down if you lifted it up and kick the feet straight up into the air for a waterfall. A little bit more strengthening here, feeling the energy flow through the legs, out through the feet, nice and strong. Just take a breath. And bend those knees in towards the chest. You can take your arms out to a T and swing the legs over to one side, getting a spinal twist. You want to be gentle on this as well. So if this is too intense, you can lift up, let's say in my example, it would be my right shoulder coming up a little bit to make the twist gentle. If you want more twist, you can take the right leg off and kick it out kick it out to the side. Just take a few breaths, letting yourself relax here. Take one more big breath into the twist. Then slowly start to bring it back towards center. Let the spine settle into the mat for just a moment. And then when you're ready, go the other way. Finding spinal twist on the opposite side. And again, sides can be different, and that includes with the twist. So find where the twist feels good on this end. Taking nice deep breaths into your twist, trying to relax. Take one more big breath. And then slowly start to bring the knees back towards center. And pause, let the spine settle again. Taking another big breath. Then take the feet up into the air for waterfall, flexing those feet, lots of energy flowing through the legs. And then if it feels okay, we're going to start to lower the legs down into Shavasana, keeping them nice and strong. If this does not feel okay, you can bend the knees back in towards the chest and let them out one at a time, or however you want to get down into the last pose. If you're going down like this, take your time, getting one more core activation. And once you've hit the mat, start to relax everything. We'll just take a couple minutes for Shavasana. So maybe take another big inhale, exhale breath, really trying to force out any last moment's of tension. You can take the air into any spot that needs it, whether that's mental or physical. And then start to check in. The forehead is relaxed, the jaw is unclenched. You feel the shoulders down and back against the mat. Your body is heavy, both the legs and the arms. And again, we'll be here for just a few more moments to let the mind relax. Just letting yourself be for a moment. All right, go ahead and start to deepen those inhale breaths, drawing the air into the body, feeling it come in, circulate, and then exhale out. One more time, big breath. Feel that air and release it out. Next inhale, bring the arms overhead, get a nice big stretch. And then release, bringing yourself back down to the mat, bringing the knees up, and then slowly coming in to a seated position, however you want to get there. And once you do, you can shut down the eyes for a moment. We'll take one big breath together. Take it slow. We're going to hold it at the top once you're ready. Big inhale, take your time, go slow. And then hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale it out. Push all the air out. You're going to hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Then just inhale and exhale. Next inhale, go ahead and bring those arms up, palms together, and down to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful instruction on starting off your balancing journey. We'll be doing some more practice the next couple of times, so I'm excited for that. But we'll still be going slow, so don't worry about it. Until then, namaste. All right. Again, thank y'all for joining me. If you haven't already, please like my video. That will help me out a lot, as well as subscribing and leaving any comments, especially for what you would like to see in the future. But again, until next time, y'all have a great weekend. See you later.